in the debate that we are having at the moment. So it's likely that some of the later speakers will be cut to 5 minutes. So be prepared for that. Can I now call Willie Rennie to be followed by Patrick Harvey?
Thank you, Presiding Officer. I think that was an astonishing speech from the leader of the Conservative Party. Says that we must hold the government to account, then proceeds to attack the opposition. With that kind of logic, the SNP ministers must be absolutely quaking in their boots. My remarks today will focus on the vision for our country and my party's plan for the next 5 years. But can I first, Deputy Presiding Officer, wish everyone a happy new year and thank those emergency service workers who have put in a huge amount of dedication over the last few weeks and days. I will set out why 4 key Liberal values should be at the heart of the next Parliament. Every individual should be free to achieve their potential. We should stand with the weak against the strong. Power is safer when it is shared, and we are trustees of the world and must pass on a sustainable legacy. My challenge today is that the best way to deliver on those Liberal values is to get behind Scotland's Liberal force. With just 5 MSPs in this Parliament, we have achieved much. We've stood up for college places, made and won the case for extending nursery education for 2-year-olds, led successful campaigns against unjustified stop and search and armed police. We have also championed mental health services, often the poor relation in the NHS, and provided the most effective challenge to this government on Police Scotland. We have provided strong Liberal voices. With more MSPs, that voice will be so much louder. Now, I admire Nicola Sturgeon for what she has achieved, becoming First Minister and winning emphatically in May. She should be pleased. And from today's contribution, there is no doubt she is pleased with herself. I would suggest she is a little too pleased. The last 5 years of the Scottish Parliament have been dominated by independents. Fair enough. That was their explicitly stated manifesto commitment. But whilst independence was in the front seat, there is little doubt the police, schools, the NHS and our environment were stuck in the boot. And even though some found the experience uplifting, there is little doubt too that the referendum divided many communities, families and friendships. So I have some advice for the SNP. For the sake of our public services and the unity of the country, please move on from the constitutional debate. But that advice equally, not just now, but that advice equally applies to the Conservatives, who seem as eager as the SNP to continue that damaging debate. I remain a strong supporter of the United Kingdom, but we all need to move on from the constitutional debate. Instead, the next 5 years should be dominated by a bright, Liberal and Green programme for Scotland. People deserve the best health care available, so we need to reverse the decline in the NHS. That's why we support a step change in mental health services, the recruitment of more GPs and the delivery of the social care that meets the needs of our growing elderly population. The planet must be protected, so we need to end the habit of missing Scotland's climate change targets. That's why we support action on climate change, including warmer homes, better public transport and an end to open cast coal. Our traditional Scottish freedoms must be protected, whether it be on excessive use of stop and search, armed police or the Super ID database. And we must bring an end to stripping power from local communities and hoarding it in Edinburgh. That's why we support a reform programme that includes power transferred to local communities, protecting their civil liberties and empowering police, nurses, doctors and teachers to do their job. Our children and young people deserve the best education. So we need to reverse the decline in our once leading education system. That's why we support proper investment, ambitious nursery education expansion and a pupil premium to give every child a chance to get a good job and realise their potential. Let me give you a new example that I referred to earlier on. The annual school census in September found that only 7.3% of 2-year-olds were registered for early learning and childcare. It was supposed to be 27%. Now, the First Minister says the figures are out of date. So if we take the previous year's figures of 15%, we're still 50% short, half of that target. So the government is failing on nursery education. How can we believe any of their promises on a massive expansion of nursery education if they can't even deliver the timid and pathetic commitment that they have already given on 2-year-olds? Contrast that with the Liberal Democrat plan. Education for our children that is the best in the world again. An NHS that delivers the best available care. An environment programme to protect our planet. And a reform programme to return to traditional Scottish freedoms.
Fucking nuggets of a plan
that will deliver opportunity for everyone. Stand with the weak against the strong. Share power and build a sustainable world for the future. With just 5 MSPs, Liberal Democrats have punched above our weight. Just imagine what we can do more. We need more strong Liberal voices in Parliament to advance that bright, Liberal, green Scotland. Thank you.
Many thanks. And now call